transfer news na ye ba be rema because from now on to say transfer news no transfers be ending there. I was said the better fam bia na ye de nchechemu e de den e de bro na afi bibia e de ekoyi e o chen so say from now till a year 2:30 and ye be sorry won kunya so na afi yakwa akodwedwe ho na yame adom o chan yasa aba na bibia tumi akọ ye sports arena on my bet online radio. My bet online radio ye twegu de nyasem keto akra kopie mo YouTube aye MYBET.AFRICA TV MYBET.AFRICA TV ha nti channel so my na fe udu YouTube hona but more than subscribe to the channel na what me aye den wa share link no na fe bibia so no atumi akoye e wo no oba Facebook aye street is watching e wo Facebook na fe ABN Radio 1 ABN Radio 1 and I feel my bet no what in term now the African day the African to us obe hu yen obeti yenka for comment bra no bibia bra na fi bibia so nye den entimi enkoye emfama me no ka say Chelsea a movie speed na Chelsea corner dey I'm telling you a chen Diogo Jota speed na is work on anu team brutal our transfer meno ka say players I would want Chelsea person ship him out. Renato Viega likely say by now kopim o chira no pade na brantie no abu na ketem permanently we free Chelsea akọ joining Atletico Madrid. Saso na Desasi either obe joining nom for no omo qualify FI Abba the top flight football was Saudi Arabia. Now, send a deal netini. Oma contacted Eric Bailly. Eric Bailly is in a kind of the Villarreal. Oma contacting into Villarreal for a pencil. The sassy afterwards in case Sir Eric Bailly joining nom for now. Now Villarreal for the sassy. And a new for no. I say almost to break a because everybody know injuries one hopper. It's almost person befa the sassy straight. It is a nona deal no aqua BBA that is the move. Whatever happens, a branch the sassy or movie from Chelsea permanently. Another player so a branch a friend no Chuku Emeka onimbo brutal. And Onyanya kobe join Dortmund but Dortmund for ye polum palam sem. Tiama Chelsea aboru mu ewol RB Leipzig no mo koy no mo kire mo sem. Wen ye hu makola wisu abi. Mo the contract extension man o si on extend. Eye Xavi Simons. O se on extend aka 2 years pe. Inti na mo pese mo ton no na mo nyesika kakra. Okay, I ready say ye be there ye beto abrante no. Na mum ye oso ye player or sina can pete say Xavi Simons no. It munji ono na mofa Simons near the MIM. So obviously be separate deals. Inti Chuku Emeka likely so be joining RB Leipzig and Abrante aye friend no Xavi Simons be joining Chelsea Boboko na fi bibia tumi akoye. Gerard Hato ebe hu say Chelsea didn't come. Finally I say Chelsea are ballroom. Ehun say efunani abie. Omo kofa a 19-year-old Jared Jato akwano nimbo brutal. Me hu led back onimbo boss akwane da. Otumi bo led back and otumi sa so bo center back. This is what Chelsea is getting into and also the transfer news are ene etwegu honum. Man United still they are looking for a striker. Is it Sesko? Is it Oli Watkins and answer Abrante friend Nicolas Jackson? They didn't come on. This and many transfer news are a Chegua. You be running in na fe usuwe hundia ko enedia eba. Show me live my bet online radio saso and my bet.africa TV YouTube na de etene se my bet ene eguso a ye kanfo ade ama mo se onua woni my bet nye de enhwimbum my bet ne the only betting company odiesi ne so se in as much as say betting no ye nyina aye omo company omo expect say obia betwa bet no omo are taking omo taking upon themselves say omo ye campaign against irresponsible betting, irresponsible gambling. Say sika ebia wo de kwakoye japade wo say wo de kwakotwa bet my bet for say do wo de ba na sa anko ye omo ni gi ho de but any kwa say wo take some risk no ti my bet education wo do andra so my bet mpenfo akopie mu Wozo TV a omo educate we ye company a omo dwen ho company a omo mpese omo bebu afa so company a omo offices e wo Ghana ha say say in case bibia ni a you can walk through the doors and make your complaint bibia be de ebekoyi e wo honum etibomodi na join na o join your Telegram account Telegram group na Sports Arena SPORTS na what ntemu ARENA arena ubowura ho a link na e wo honum no ya pin no click so a edo be come and bet portal na so edo kope no register me say registration 3 steps per udin no senia udin no opesa wo ye no wo say edin bi wo ha unique edin amanfo bebre bia me fa say ye fra kofi ye fra amanfo bebre kofi ti na wo the numbers kakra de aka ho se na be ya wo de no be different uwi a na wa den wabo password ya on verify your account no just verify your account who verify we a twen yen ye the course be bro na wa loadi anase se on pese obetwen yen a my bet wo other people a omo no de wuni momo omo wo ho a omo so ma hyehye bet no bebre de egu ho no ma no se obe click so a ebe loadi a na wan ka se wa look through ebia na o se Chelsea be hye ba wo adwen mu no se no match mu betima ebe tricky nti ma me ko Chelsea win or draw no one changes kakra na o de egu so na afi bibia etimi akoyi my bet na wo di a omo de a na omo send text message that you say onua wadi enti bomode a na eden call account nim ne kokko usika ompe we opeka ya moto oni omo nhwimbom na bibia anso no enkoyie ewo honum for now no de yebebo awram ewo transfer news no na fe yehu de ekọ ene de eba visa me mo akwa
yeah listo yeah
bibia come on
yes nyame adom bibia
yeah yenhwe transfer news no
yeah listo mami me mo bia akwa ba bi my thing say a lot of teams transfers in teams virus be hwa monitor na say emba teams virus be hwa monitor na why ho adwuma e de amaye and I think say a lot of people are making signings and I would like to enter into some of these signings, especially teams no more Premier League, and I think say the teams in the Premier League are doing very well, and they are also hoping say umbenya whatever signings also mutimi make ebema omo niama koye dia momo. Now if you look at obiti say Liverpool, especially this season, I've been talking about Liverpool or more issues with Abranta and their Luis Diaz and Bayern Munich then, and right now list to be at Liverpool for Nedano omo answer a very tight kakra because of maybe a modern CCA and the amount of money the boy is earning at Liverpool. Nti no check Luis Diaz when Liverpool go for Abranta and Bayern he was none wages quite and drew 50,000 and he didn't do 50,000 so the wage in air there I form. And Liverpool signed him 7 years. Now, if you look at Luis Diaz, while Bob Bonabedu baby, people believe that he is in a prime and one of the best left wingers in the European football this year. Untimimbo 5 in Luis Diaz in free. Now, there are a lot of teams that no more Luis Diaz this year, especially 2 notable. Baku was Barcelona and Baku is Bayern Munich. Barca, Luis Diaz was their first choice target for more left wing corner. But then because of Barca financial situations and not even able to register some of the players because of 1:1 rule, they have to clear their books for the incomings. In the Russia, when Basa for any Inaki, Niana say Nico Williams, Erichi Bibiana boy and Pesocon. Betina Kajo said Bilbao for the Basa for no, Akola Liga for him say Basa for the Momo and Bibrina in Liga. They want to try and sign the boy, which means they cannot even register the boy. And no more Kwani and Makoko be there, so they would want the best interest for the boy. And they 1:1 rule. You never how Basa signed Danny Omo. How they struggled to even register Danny Omo to Basa for the Omola Liga team anymore. But then you look at all these things, it was one of the reasons why Barcelona couldn't sign Nico Williams. And it's one of the main reasons why Abranta and the Luis Diaz, he won't come cheap. And after saying he won't come cheap, no, the money involved, the Barca are not in that capacity to pay that amount. And the only thing will be to make is can Bayern Munich. Now, list to Bayern for no, and the Luis Diaz, I'm a Liverpool fan. I always say he would want to move because initially this is a player he's not even earning up to £3 million. Europe and now England. And only Bayern always say if no checking England, players or more foreigners, no, the tax involved. The tax involved so sometimes if you look at all these things bought teams any some of the players are more baby now Luis Diaz willing to be moving because Bayern Munich are promising 40 million euros per year used to from 2 million pounds or let's say 3 million euros to 40 million, and this is a boy from Colombia. And we know the history of Colombia. How we hear, I mean, drugs, so if he's moving from Liverpool to Bayern Munich, another European giant team, no, 40 million euros, he has to go. And in fact, if Liverpool are going to extend the contract, is it going to earn as much as how Obiti said Van Dijk Salah? That is another question for another day. So currently, Bayern Munich for Luis Diaz list too. Bayern Munich are ready to meet the asking price Liverpool for Nippen with that 80 million euros. Bayern Munich are ready to do it because currently, if they don't stack up some of their players, Kingsley Coman, Leroy Sané, Serge Gnabry, your players they are not going to give you that performance normal demand for some years ago. In fact, from the right side, Michael Olise, they are sorted and they will need somebody who can compete from there. And if they really want to compete at the highest level, especially in the UEFA Champions League, they have to make sure say Luis Diaz will make team secure. And finally, they are Liverpool. They are ready to somewhere reach Liverpool agreements. Now, on Liverpool's hand, they didn't want to sell this boy because already they are not paying him so much, and they believe that someone told Luis Diaz to be able to get somebody who can play at the highest level like Luis Diaz, they have to spend a lot of money. They have to spend more than 60-70 million, and that is the money Liverpool didn't want to spend right now. And now, listen, who check here? They already said if Luis Diaz Bekwa, they will take that money and go and buy Obiti said Rodrigo. Now, if you look at Rodrigo, there are a lot of teams no more pay Rodrigo this season. One, nobody said Chelsea would want Rodrigo. But Rodrigo edge 40 million per season. Real Madrid. And that money Entimi ama Chelsea for no Entimi and trigger a deal for Bit Rodrigo because we check Rodrigo 24 years so year. But according to report every Spain, any Florian Plettenberg or no a German reporter for Sky Germany, it's a Liverpool for L consider said they will bring in the Brazilian winger Abanaba replacing Luis Diaz. But then look check it Rodrigo, he's earning all the bad pounds 8.6 million per year, and a very expensive move for Liverpool for because one, you are losing Luis Diaz on like in a salary origin a year he doesn't even come closer to 4 million a year.
Okay.
But now you are going to pick Rodrigo 10 million euros per year at Real Madrid and all the bad pounds 8.6. So Liverpool, they are going to spend in wages and also they are going to spend big on Rodrigo. But then the thing is, if you look at Rodrigo, now then they compare Madrid team now. I mean, he's not a very bad player. Out of 270 games, Rodrigo Abama Real Madrid, no, he's scored 68 goals and provided 50 a year, 1 assist in over 270 games. And over the career at 270 games, no, he has either played as a right winger, as a left winger, and as a number 9, false 9 in some ways. So Rodrigo coming to the Premier League, and the league, Premier League, it tends to favor the Brazilian internationals so much. So you can mention a lot of Brazilians about the Premier League, with the pace and the physicality. No, it doesn't affect them because Brazil, anywhere they are now, league and the physicality, the intensity, no, just like the Premier League. Now, listen, Liverpool, they've done an incredible business this summer, but then they are also fighting to extend the contract of some of the players. Obitze Luis Diaz, if Liverpool decides that they will want the boy to stay, they will lose him the following year. Know team Liverpool will not get that 60 million pounds plus now they want from Luis Diaz deal. Now Ibrahim Konate then, it's either Liverpool will accept the bid Madrid will come would bring, and I say they will lose Konate for free next year. So Konate, no, Liverpool for no, they are aware that he wants to move. It's either they will have a gentleman agreement with him, say instead of contract, no, they will sell you to Madrid at 50 million. But the boy too wouldn't do such a mistake because someone in Jonas and Nessie and Koboko Frida, that money would have come to him personally on any agency. So Liverpool for no, they've done an incredible business so far, and if they are able to get Rodrigo, one of the best wingers, exciting Rodrigo, no, Onyanye, just that he moved to Real Madrid at a younger age, and he's won everything with Real Madrid. So we better say Rodrigo over 27, 28, but he's just 24 years. He has a lot of years to play, and if Oba, who compare Luis Diaz age, and nobody say Rodrigo age, Luis Diaz and Luis Diaz, Luis Diaz and Rodrigo, but Rodrigo in as a younger player with experience, with that ego, any right back be share Rodrigo, and or Super Liverpool, he is going to play from the right side, from the left side where he prefers, and I think that is going to be a win-win situation for both Bayern Munich, Liverpool, and also Real Madrid, because definitely they will clear him from their books, they will get the money they want, and also Madrid Fanama says some players were surplus to requirements. After the 6 games, a Madrid boy in the FIFA Club World Cup, Rodrigo will move 6, and if he's not going to be a key member of Real Madrid team, no, offloading him will also help them clear their books as much as well. They also get money. But on better some midfielders, some more defenders, and the other team Bayern Munich, so they will get their man in Obitze Luis Diaz. Liverpool for Ebenya the money they want for Luis Diaz, but the thing is they are going to buy in Rodrigo, who will not come cheap. Rodrigo, who are the salary, way bigger than Obitze Luis Diaz, and again they are going to get an exceptional player. And it's a Liverpool starting season. No Luis Diaz or Rodrigo or Hugo Ekitike or Mohamed Salah, Florian Wirtz, McAllister, and Ryan Gravenberch leading on lines now. It means that they are having the right players. They are maintaining a almost season. Now, let me move to Arsenal for Nakachi. And I came to explain why na Omone Victor Goyekere is deal no. Na Estole. They've agreed the total amount in there. Both Arsenal and the Sporting for normal agree. But then Varandes, who is the president for Sporting team, was so much concerned about the 10 million add-ons Arsenal for the back home. And if you look at the agreement, now Arsenal is going to buy the boy for 5 years. But then Sporting for them, they wanted the bonus payment structure to be achievable. And Conquest Arsenal the Champions League and our Premier League title. But then they found ways and means to strike a deal with Sporting. Now in the 10 million euros, Varandes now the back hand said he didn't want Arsenal to pay that 10 million in a longer term. That is the 4 years to 5 years. He needed that money all in a year by 7 million. Now list to no agreement Arsenal for the Sporting for the rich year. The same money now more agree na Arsenal for Kokotia. But the difference is the 10 million bonus now na betria no. There's been some adjustments. Okay. Now adjustment didn't say this guy is coming to play for Arsenal. Definitely the bonus add-ons will come in if Arsenal are any titles. No more so 8 million Champions League qualification. So whether a Carabao Cup, whether a FA Cup, League title, Champions League, whatever trophy Arsenal will win, this boy has to be part of that contribution. At least he has to play over 60% of that game, and he has to be a key part of their success story, whether they are winning the titles or whether they are qualifying for the Champions League. Now, Sports Info say, agreed, you are going to pay that money in the space of that 5 years. But in that 5 years, the payment structure, if Arsenal are able to win titles and also qualify for Champions League for the next 2 years out of the 5 years now, boy, in the sign a contract, they are supposed to pay at least 60 or 70% of that 10 million, which is 7 million. So Sports Info expect say next season Arsenal for team trophy. No more team qualify for the Champions League. The following season, no more team qualify for Champions League again. They no more winning any trophy. Arsenal are supposed to pay 7 million out of the 10 million or in the space of that 5 years. No. So it means that Arsenal for if Omubom Musu trophy, no more qualify for Champions League. The following season, almost qualify for Champions League with Victor Gokres and Conquest for Kokunya ACOB. Now it's not half the season or the full season. Now he is part of Arsenal team. No, he's playing day in day out. They are going to pay 7 million out of a year, the 10 million in the next 2 years. Then the 3 years nebekano, they will spread that 2.5 and 3 million nebekano to a year that year. Now Arsenal for any young player, and there be a 2 things are Eddie Arsenal for the past 6 years and Mikel Arteta won't win the trophy, no, and you cannot mention 2 to 3 teams. For the past 5 seasons, you cannot mention 2 teams or may best in England. Arsenal always they are number 2 because for the past 3 seasons they've been bottling the league to Manchester City, and last season City dropped here from no be name said and Arsenal enya the edge. Team Watson and Indigenous so only team managing league for that 2-3 seasons. No, what lose form? Arsenal was going to win the league, but now I'm not talking about Liverpool by J. League in from them. And Obi and Bayadrin say every time Arsenal ebe start ebe gain your momentum or most time someone winning games you see their problem and evidence. But the thing is, the Mikel Arteta and the squad he has, he cannot do anything. When they were about to win the league and then they Saliba prior, then their defensive shape ebe say now they couldn't even stop teams from scoring, and I had about affect you. Then again, a do baby. I'm going for Gabriel Jesus by ya, or more hopes, or no work a can no pra. Inconsistency, so they were not having a player there. Or bit my Musa goes no. Trust at a buyer. Also, Entiman contributing. Odegaard, at least in terms of midfield passes, but then contributing so much in goals. Send be a 2 seasons, 3 seasons ago. Onya a lot of goals, Onya a lot of assists. No, he's not been able to do that. See, Arsenal team, no check here. Apart from say inconsistency from players, injuries are setting for more key players. Last season, it was evident say when Bukayo Saka played, no man see Bukayo Saka. It was clear, it was obvious say Saka need no team no. They were struggling, but then again, the Kai Havertz about and that members of the season, no, Havertz ebenya an improved season for Arsenal as compared to the season on Yama Chelsea or by in the Premier League. Now, when 2 strikers are normally the Arsenal line, Gabriel Jesus and Nick Havertz, a couple 10 games to the season, they no winning, they were not available. So one, as also shows the squad depth. If when you are, they don't have somebody who can equally replace that player at the highest level. One Saka player, Ethan Nwaneri, it showed potentials, but then can he play to the level of Abraham and the Bukayo Saka? And that is one thing that is also by. So you look at Arsenal team now, there are a lot of things they were lacking. But this season, you look at every department, after losing Thomas Partey and Jorginho, they've brought in Norgard and Martin Zubimendi. You look at Fabio Vieira, And currently Arsenal is playing with AC Milan. Our only lead by 1 goal. Where they are playing Ethan in Nwaneri is the number 10 rule. Saka is in, Odegaard is on the bench, and they are playing Ethan in Nwaneri in that role. So you look at Arsenal team now, it looks as if they are able to sell Fabio Vieira, Ethan Nwaneri, you know, he can be a player who can play as that number 10 and also as that in their games, social highlights in games over, people are hyping him. So Ojibo no running back the flanks are Saka mom a call up front. Now Chris Saka any a year Kai Havertz as that 2 top strikers no war anymore. So Arsenal team, you know, they are going to do well, but now it was evident that they were missing a target man. They were missing a striker who can give them 20 goals like Mohamed Salah is giving them. Look at the last 3 seasons, 4 seasons. Any team be at least or Obeji League, he has a player and not their striker or any of their forwards is giving him or that team 20 plus goals. So for the last 3 seasons, Man City agent Erling Haaland was giving them 20 plus goals season in, season out. Even a season crowd didn't put the Omantimanji League, you know, he was scoring the goals. Mohamed Salah, anytime last season he was a top scorer for the league and he won the number of goals I was sharing. Now Victor Gyökeres is coming in, and Tavares beats me the Gyökeres starting to be that so Amamia. I mean, he's a player that Obabeboa Arsenal yepa in terms of that goal scoring. And in fact, or the weakness, and the weakness is no. You didn't say player be obviously Haaland. A lot of players have more weakness. But if all rely on player weakness, so you are going to stop that player. That is where the other players on one team no can also take leverage on that. No, the punish team. Now, Osha Victor Gyökeres at least. Yes, where Gyökeres, especially in the Premier League, out of the all games or boy and list the record in the Premier League and expected goals list 100%. That is the starter and the opta analyst for Deba. 100%. Because listen, this is a player who scored 54 goals in 52 appearances for Sporting. So the expected goals, you know, all the chance the man and there is one thing that maybe I'm not for doing numbers for Victor Gyökeres. Listen, last season he created 60 chances, big chances. Just 2 players in the Premier League last season. And he created more chances. And they know check here. The chances created no when you're 93%. The shots are 98. Touches in the opposition box. The last time now I said on your box striker. Into action the touches in the opposition box are 100%. That is the year up to for Sudaba. Possession 1 in final third. When he is pressing, because Madika has a Ruben Amorim no or Sanso air pressing. And Pereira no better so Sporting so also bought a pressing football. And Victor Gyökeres air pressing or bar. He's one player that anytime be an or tie winning possession or final third. And he's also a ball carrier. So mo bonabo name ba na so dopi deeper. O team the ball no e running 10 meters and afar. And he's coming to solve a lot of goal scoring difficulties for us now. But then Tavares beat him the other start now to solve me. That is a year ni open play Sporting CPD no. Last season, 6 assists in the Premier League. Apart from the 6 assists, the American saw chances created at least to or create 60 chances. So this is a player that so Obo in the Premier League. Now say he can even improve the assist 6 and create 60 chances. Then Odegaard, Saka, Kai Havertz, and Noni Madueke can leverage on that. It means that we can have Arsenal for some improve on goals. Arsenal when it comes the last season, Upe teams are, especially in the Premier League, the top 6 teams among creative chances are Arsenal. Here the number 6. Even United, they create a lot of chances than Arsenal. Arsenal then is on the bar. Defensively, they are solid. Collectively, as a team, building from the back, you impress it, where to pass, where not to pass, they are good. But are they a consistency in goal scoring? Last season, go to a time, they were finding it very difficult to create chances. Now, are they on tradition goal? Through ins. and no corner kick. When you ask the bonus and your corner, omo bobo compensate and corner. No more formation. So if Martin Odegaard, Ethan and Waneri, Zubimendi mo, Saka, Noni Madueke, Martinelli mo, if they don't step up and omo am begi up, omo create chances creation game now, this boy will suffer. Because also no, Adibakone say when he plays against teams on low block and teams they are very good in dominating the game. Obre into Russia goals especially or share in the Premier League no. Most of them were against teams or more the bottom 10th. No team share goals against some of the big teams. Sports in Nipo Tumbe and Fekam. We show more Obre.
Are you correct?
Yes.
Oh no. I think I watched their game against Benfica in the final. And he was basically scored the 2 goals.
Say and I'm just saying these teams no.
Yeah.
Last season he couldn't score Sporting. Only put to shy.
Jokeres.
Yes.
Jokeres.
So yes, Jokeres against Porto. But I'm just saying Oshe 54 goals. But the number of goals no share any now. Against teams now almost more from the 11th position to that last position. Against the big teams, he struggled. He's a fine top scorer. And I don't want people to see that maybe there are a lot of strikers over through the Portuguese league our best struggle. We talk of Nunes.
Darren Nunes.
From Benfica to Liverpool, Amman Meyer hits. Mehdi Tarami was scoring for fun. By Inter Milan. He's not even getting playing time. You talk of Ramos to PSG. You even talk of a lot of players. Oh, the Oba AC Milan, Andre Silva. A lot of good strikers. But when they move from the Portuguese league down about the European League, but this boy, because Obama Brighton, he wasn't getting playing time. But he's familiar with the English football. Because this is a player list too. Or share 38 goals in over 90 appearances for commentary in the championship. And you know how aggressive the championship is. Or started to gather momentum in the championship now. And then they sporting for the £20 million. In the first season, he scored 43 goals. And the second season, and then the free sporting.
Well, but to be fair to him, in terms of scoring against the top teams and also doing well against the top teams in the Portuguese league. He scored against Porto. He scored against Benfica and he scored against Braga. So these are the top teams. Then Man City bought hat-trick against Man City in the Champions League. So to be fair to him in that regard, scoring against big teams, I'm not sure. Say,
the number who checking the goals now. Teams are also more because against.
So we know we see how many times.
No, say, and I'm say even if now check here, Oshia Falameka or money we muna or Bob 3 goals. But then, and I'm sure say, I'm not saying so on share big teams, but me can so I'm say, ni goals no more na against sad teams no.
Ebe ya omo aso because omo no mo so. What I say? Because Porto no.
Porto Ibe.
Obesia Porto home and away. Braga home and away, and away home and away. And betima ba say be do okra na injury na omo rest because of maybe a match ni important but doing well against them, Benfica say they were winning the cup game and Obetika last minute.
Yeah.
And
so fair enough, he's a player that is going to score the goals for Arsenal. But then, in terms of adapting to the Premier League, or you're well known to the Premier League, he knows how physical the Premier League is.
Yeah.
And if he's going to strive at Arsenal, I think say Obetima solve Arsenal goal scoring problems in their more. But the thing is, Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, they have to be able to create chances. Or you're a box striker, and if you don't create the chances, he won't get the goals to score for you. So all Arsenal for no, I think that this season will be very crucial. And Mikel Arteta, with all these signings from Mosquera, Zubimendi, Norgard, and him also coming and non Madueke ban. If they don't win any important trophy this season, Mikel Arteta so I won't be surprised that Arsenal for Bijan and Sha or no one can Mikel Arteta. The Boom say, Edmund there. What team about rebuilding a certain level, getting Arsenal consistently, getting Champions League football, and also getting closer to a silverware. Obetime Edmund to Mobile Beto. So now, reports about say Xavi Simons and Chelsea in Komodidi no akwa anymore, and they are also reporting say personal terms there because Ali Barat Medika the last time I count the number of businesses are on the Chelsea are in the since Todd Boyle Mobile, Nicholas Jackson, Moises Caicedo, Kendrick Paez, deal no was true a year Obiti Ali Barat, and he's in charge of Abranton. And no check it Leipzig for squad or what they call Asia for the preseason now. Xavi Simons is part of the squad on MYBET Travel. By now check here, player no is clear so be movie, and you see Xavi Simons sang listo. Even before Lamine Yamal, Alejandro Balde, any Ansu Fati, Ebabinya that name, that recognition as La Masia product, La Masia player, our Babasano. This boy used to, even when he was at 13, 14 years, Anonyan gets even closer to the Barcelona team. He had the potential, he had that PR. Those are brands when the pictures see trendy. Akrabia said, so you free us anything Brown, why Rasta or bomb midfield, and they were saying say the next Xavi, the next Iniesta, he is coming to replace these people. And I think say the people who are representing this boy didn't do well at that time, because listen, if you check here, the time he moved from Barcelona to PSG at that young age, you know, because when he moved to PSG at that time, they had Marco Verratti and a lot of people there. This boy couldn't even enter into almost setup. So with all things being equal, I think say he had the potential, and this is a boy about La Masia. In Zene, so personal, he's very good. He knows how to play in the passes, the weight of it, piercing passing, a friend is saying attribute of a La Masia product and Bassa midfielders. He has all those things. And if you compare this player, there are a lot of players about him they are wouldn't compare him. Because 080 he can run with the ball. Last time the number of carries or Leipzig for no. Whenever he has to play, whenever he has to shoot, and all power. And the Chelsea for now agree on with the boy personal terms then agreement. Now club to club say Chelsea for the Leipzig for, and reporting Chelsea are not willing to pay more than 50 million. And the deal is the boy will come cheap. Now the Amama more convinced and they said the deal can be finalized before Chelsea for the resume preseason win back and they said, and the Leipzig for here when Chelsea were fighting for and now they were looking to sign Jimmy Gatins in the USA. Dortmund for them Chelsea for your said they would want Kane Chukwuemeka again, but Chelsea made it clear say if you want Chukwuemeka, come and buy him, no loan. And Mr. Mekacho said Chelsea for man clear say Chukwuemeka is either they will allow him to stay and also fight for a position, and I said they will sell him, no loan for Kane Chukwuemeka. Now Leipzig for say they want that boy, they want Chukwuemeka, and Chelsea for no are not ready to do any swap deal. If you want Chukwuemeka, come and buy him 40 million. We too we want a year Obiti say Xavi Simons. We also come to buy that player. Betona deal. And Chelsea have a very good relationship with RB Leipzig, because this season, even before the FIFA Club World Cup, Leipzig wanted to know if they can get Nkunku back. And Nkunku need the or transfer market and so. If you have the money and you can meet any wages now, and the player accepts the move, he will come. So with Xavi Simons, when he is coming, he's coming to be a great addition to the Chelsea midfield. It means that when Chelsea are playing, now we can drop Enzo Fernandez back. They are going to have a player who can shoot, who or be in the inbox running, he can create the chances, a ball carrier. That is one aspect and now one character that Chelsea are missing their midfield. When Messi will be Kovacic in the team. So he's coming in whenever Chelsea need the ball carrying. So over this year, Chelsea has been linked with Morgan Rogers. But Rogers will not come cheap. And it will be very difficult, especially in the Premier League. Who pay a player from a rival and a team on to compete here? I am not heading. So Chelsea are getting in a player. I'll bet him about the number 8. I'll bet him about the number 10 row. I'll bet him so about from the flanks. Never in bet him that one. So with Chelsea, Xavi Simons deal no. Once RB Leipzig for no, I show interest in buying Kane Chukwuemeka, it means that the deal a bet me I very is now. Jared had to Chelsea for I intensify or more again. Medical catch say he's a player Chelsea has been scouting him. They've been monitoring even before last season. And over Chelsea department now in defense, right center back, left center back, every position. Baby, omuni a friend is saying backup crano. Then 2 people at one position. So I tried back. They have James Gusto. Center backs there are a lot of them out on Omudombeko. And a neighbor midfielder, Dario Usogo, Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Andre Santos, as the number 10 row, Omuoko Palmer, a lot of players are back. But then the players are among focus a player we can put here rest because at the left side no Obia Intimimbo. A woman said last season, but I should about that position either. Liverpool about that position either. But anytime you are these players, you won't how affected Chelsea defense. And Cucurella has been one of the best players in the Premier League last season, one of the best left backs in European football currently. So if you want to replace him with someone, and they several is beating the Jara had to start some of that tournament. Then you compare, he's 19 years old. If you compare Hato to the defenders, any fullbacks, under 20 years, in Europe, used to every aspect of the fullback game or the ball in terms of defensive duels won, in terms of aerial duels won, in terms of touches, passes, and the passes completed, and also short passes. And so he defended Bia, he knows how to play the ball. And what's your Chelsea profile for now? Especially the left back role. They want somebody. When a task say we want a left back to do invention, somebody who is good on the ball. So there's a reason why they went to buy Renato Vega. But Vega buy when you pay because he wasn't ready to be a backup. Because at that time, we check the pecking order now. A lot of players were playing, and also Felice right now he's got a nod in the Portuguese National League. So say any European top team now so being consistency in appearance, no better about day in day out to cement the position in the Portuguese national team, especially one World Cup ever next season. That's the reason why boy in the coin. But then Gerard Hato, as at 19 years, an integral part of a Netherlands national team. He can play as a left back. He can play as a center back, as a left center back, and was also aggressive. In terms of attacking, he's also good at that attacking role. No? And I think that if Chelsea for no, and the reporting just money I ask for no, I agree with you. Be our personal terms, they are just they also finalize on the payment structure. And
yeah, with the player no.
Yeah,
I have the video kakra wo so on fa ne highlight I think 2 minutes the end or on fa 2 minutes the end to so na yen hwe the style of play because obi ho no ma onim play akro na ye kan ho asem no aha anti whilst ukasa no.
And I think that if Oba, he will be a great addition to the Chelsea team. They have a player, even if Liverpool and Cucurella is fit, you don't have to worry. But the Ashil, apart from the Chelsea hierarchy believes that he's one of the best defenders in terms of playing the ball from the back. And Akasobe adapted to the physique, the speed and everything. They also have another player who can also adapt quickly to the physicality of the Premier League. And I think that Chelsea getting Hato and all departments, a player and a backup, and potentially he is a player. Medical some of the data.
The height,
so,
yes.
Let me be sure about the height. But then I think that as at 19 years and at the level he's playing at for a team
and he's played for the Holland team.
Yeah, he's an integral part of the team. Or 1.8 1.82 meters. That is
6 feet.
Yeah, 6 feet.
Okay, 6.
Yeah.
All right. We bought 6 games. Said the Holland national team no at age 19.
It's an integral part of
So it cannot be by chance. Like what I say.
Yeah.
Say at an age. So Nyadi, I mean, sure say could beat my Holland national team no.
For fullbacks. Moye below
and
20 years.
Very good on the ball.
Yes. Very good on the ball. When he's attacking, when you're on the passes in the right, he's very physical in terms of duels, any BBN or a physical. I mean, if Chelsea doesn't have Marco Cuella, he can fit in so much. And I think say Enzo Maresca is in team no. But then there are a lot of teams are more. And one thing is that he will go anywhere with mere 24, 28 players. But then if we anywhere, the potential this boy has no, and not an Cuella birthday. Cuella did 27 years. About 3 seasons maybe when you're 30 years. That is when this boy is when you're roughly 22 or 23. So no, currently over 19 years.
Okay.
So 19 before Cuella been 30 years, maybe Chelsea be demanding say, oh, and now then so I say, and maybe in his best at 13. That is when this boy will be 23 years. Also, but I'm not being limelight. As 19 years, he's playing at the highest level, and if he comes to a club like Chelsea, knowing the necessary support, that's a team need driver. I think that he's going to be a good addition to the Chelsea setup.
Okay, all right. Now, one year, cause I in fact into so picture the Chelsea Avengers. Chelsea Avengers, and is a cry. Utumu say yes. The better so the amaya na yehu. Omoni. Enti who players ni bi. Me hu Kukurela, me hu Rhys James, Enzo, Palmer, Caicedo, Cole, and Joao Pedro. Then a Champon, then Hato, then I see Quenda, then Pemu Nankasa Estevao, Gittins, Xavi Simons, and on then Pendants and I say Pendants, no. To your man for okay. Right. There are still guys who almost war actually. Oh here Boca Juniors defender is Aselmino so honoma. Yeah. The one for Tarek George Ama. And Songu Munyina Andre Santos and Count. Okay, and still players new actually come. Share ye Nicola Jackson video be ato we no fato na yan hwa de na metwete sa aye out of nothing na adeno sa Arsenal lusu yo
so yeah started program Arsenal share one Saka
I say o ma be team akọ penalties ma ma ye Arsenal team so won penfo ni nyina gire mu bia bobi. Okay, nti Nicola Jackson ye. Nti o hwe ba bia Paul ni si a. Ene ba bia one na ma chese ntente no ahwa a eno ye den. Onam left side o Legoves. Na we ni na me kasenka on strike because o striking no do ball no de say no ha say ni de o ball de o ni mbo. O problem aka ye how to shoot at goal. Tika every opportunity be anka obenya bia no. Ka be den. Uja honkono nkomo de amount. Oh, na ko wateni so now then you be learning new things because I say no African ball no omo ball contact. What I say very close. On say we kura no mo market no ma close no but Europe come man space. Am otumi aye den aye. E ho no be close nti ho no you will learn a few things because no so one che Africa game nim tinga o bobo na ke e runet nim o dash na wo shooti o dash ye hu training bia individual training bia chairman o sua shooting that individuals we even Chelsea crowd no so mo ye shooting drills na videos ne ba chairman kan eno na me tweet ya na tweet na atija I didn't anticipate say amanfo be the be react to ebi mu so ɔyɛ winger but we did 2 years with Chelsea or play as a winger the national team ɔyɛ winger
Striker.
ɔyɛ striker national team ɔyɛ striker Chelsea ɔyɛ striker nti esi dem ɔkɔ ahase na ɔso odisua kicking ɔfa nye we ɛne na manfo bi bu ofu sɛ minya no na ɔnwe pizza na ɔnwe burger yebetuma gyina video ya ka sɛ ebia now ɔhwɛ Chelsea team no a wings wɔn no obetumi anya bi abɔnti or practice wɔ hɔ anaasɛ laziness na ɔde be shoot at goal no most times no ye hu sɛ ɔyɛ no ɛno ana or deliberate ɔyɛ wɔ ha sɛ yɛnhwɛ ɛyɛ bɛ 2 minutes bi na yɛnyɛ we.
I think Nicolas Jackson asem there ogo kan na ebia wakwa ko senia wo kan nkofo aba begina ko so I think as a player obi bia ohia modern day striker mo because unim say open striker ono betimi aba be ball ni bi so hwe Victor Yokres starter Vincent de Bayi o hwe ne touches any aerial duels and an aerial presence wo family ene so o hwe Nicolas Jackson apart from say ne touches the chances creation ni bibia o ma bibia o player mo but the aerial duels any shooting from afar and in the box so power ni ade back or miss out and every time be am be kan I say as a player football na ite wodwuma nti se na bia wo ye adwuma o baby na feel so me jaa ko school kakra ba be beta se na metimi enya higher positions no sa na football na so tie nti wo ball no ye onyama ba ko mienu bia obe like but as a player no obe sisi a scan wo ho obe fa personal trainers o mbe kire onyama ba ko mienu ebe boa mu improve mbe kan wo had other time say Chelsea in the past 2 seasons say Nicolas Jackson chances to create even those who mark goals oba Chelsea on share ko almost 30 goals at Chelsea in 2 seasons but senko timi happy in the game e the goals ni bi kan next season ni be ko na we at least 17-20 goals there oni ko pa mamu ene na mo a I don't think say nka Chelsea be real market for the likes of Delap and Abia Joao Pedro mu because omo a young striker or mom that particular goals but so hwe ni in game player utimu say edu be bia agro ne dooso senior okay do say wa ba ha vacation wa ba video name play a bigger role e will play and bibia maybe on in the area for no di agro on person maybe obeko any more contact ni baby bra bim but I think say o share senior kan o share Chelsea videos no mu ye shooting ni nyama unhu ni wo in game so be hu so benya boy so obo shorter that power that aggressiveness enim say so obo shorter o planté o nine ba ko na power netimi a generate o ba ko mu no unhu woni mu and now they've been competitions or Chelsea the likes of Joao Pedro Abba the likes of Delap Abba on the left wing position yes Gittins were but as of now Chelsea here's somebody Javi Simons and any other player beba be shame into a say be up so about the left wing position are fine but so about the left wing position in poa meaning say Osambe a backup to a player like Gittins into a I think say during these holidays our corner video with the main fan can say maybe Odina Gobi during holidays our corner the main focus is with me man adwin koso and short power and also making sure say obe finding who ye especially say crossing in nyama ba into the box because now competition in Chelsea no e peja the likes of Delap ebe more different profile from Joao Pedro than time at Chelsea signing Joao Pedro mbecheche mu say Joao Pedro profile no any Nicolas Jackson profile na ye pe nti ene Delap say ono ne ho beto no because onim say a begu game bi a epo bi a oni defenders ne ba be preso e ho na Maresca de ne beba but oni Joao Pedro no more the same profile ono so drop e ball no ono so at least onye good in the air sir but or a bit ahead ewo enim sen and an short power ni hu FIFA Club World Cup short any placement to timida ni I think say time say as a player so person about Chelsea no send your rumors about bontin so person tina fight for the position or improve this holidays are on pay trainers personal trainers on ball striking any nyama back me who players on my Chelsea the likes of them babamo aba omoka so by the likes of competition and e wo ho no na hu hia say even to the extent say chefs or meduane o mubedi any players o mabobo oni bida nyama back mienu so osua I think no na so oye but senior kind no Nicolas Jackson asemu ko kan ebi mu se wotan no ebi mu se wo mpani ye Vincent Otiai, Nicolas Jackson piano no. Uka Nicolas Jackson as MCC and Obabi Jina Okonso. So about European chair. But all those in Yamani na any value as a now. The only value I pay free one is say season best start, you know. Obey more obey kick the ground running na goals at Chelsea pay free no obey timi nya. Say be Chelsea soon obey next season and obey move ya call any other club. Yeah, bomb pie say as an African wait me right European scene no. Say Man U, Aston Villa, AC Milan teams from the Chino bet me aboa. Ye benya that Victor Osimhen mu, the likes of Samuel Eto'o mu, Didier Drogba mu, the way omo catch European scene with that style of play. Any him say about Africa, no so yetimi abon home or they no China bi no. Ye about African great strikers yetimi abon ni dia account.
Okay. Chairman, we can kakra.
Oh yeah, I think sir, these holidays videos like this, sometimes what they are judgments when the players are not being fair because we've seen videos even your mom you goalkeepers come go holidays they want to play as a striker, especially even this All-Star year and this year. At least they give played. So sometimes these games they don't form because there'll be a backlash from this same fan base on the so what's your cry? This game after a competitive gamer. People will come in so hard, and even professionals never Ghana and mobile backroom bob. These people in natives or one number ball fitting crabbing, they don't even tackle them. So maybe ideal say keep ball as a striker, but then as a striker, I don't think that competitive edge could be here at the end side. But then he's a player, he knows that there's competition there, and he has to improve, especially on the goal scoring. Although he's in terms of creating chances and scoring for the past 2 seasons, only Kupama Penny, the only Chelsea player, or share more goals, and I think that he has to improve. But this particular video, more like a vacation or anything up on the boy or the diagram. But then I think that the owner him said last season or 2 seasons ago, now the competition and Kuku wasn't even up to the bill. Now he has 2 new strikers. They want to come and make a statement. Say Chelsea signed us to come and score goals, and we want to do that. So he as a player and then the agents when I leave at him, they know what is at stake. And I think that if you are using this video to judge him, then maybe you are not being fair.
Okay, all right. Inti news na.
Inti transfers kakra. I think Vincent Abobo bebre so inti ebe highlight ba ko mienu bia aka na yahwe with Chelsea with Javi Simons any Hato no. As of now, information abundant from the Chelsea faithful they say the club is a bit relaxed, especially with the transfers because almost your outgoings. Into Renato Vega, the outgoing is very important to Chelsea. Now they back air Chelsea on this Renato Vega transfer, and they said the player is pushing to go to Atletico. And na Simeone so in here that centre back. Into any Atletico here 2 centre backs from Betimi Abim, Etimi Ababe Boa. And himself Atletico centre back pairings from the previous seasons now. Enyi kakra TSM. The likes of the way Axel Witsel, Moedu baby as a DM, no born as a centre back, and they onya these 2 pairing. That is David Hanku and the friends Renato Vega. They will be good additions for Atletico, especially going into the next season. And the attacking threats, no more they are mad about the wings, no or born home or they until munya that 2 centre pairing in Renato Vega. Chelsea for some per package of 40 million. You know, say about Chelsea and Atletico, a relationship need you maybe build a good relationship. From the times of Fernando Torres, the times of Diego Costa, anyway, they have a very good relationship. And that is what Chelsea is looking out for. Mbeka has a thought boli mobile, especially players in power, Chelsea in power. Neton ya de bakwa any problem a moment. So Mutiminya 40 million for Renato Vega, and they Omitimian fast will be because it was a player on 13 million. Or call loan in Paul Juventus for 5 million. So Mutiminya 40 out of 30, no menya extra 45. Otiti the akani freema, sike which ebetimia bomb betimidia other players. Into Renato Vega moving to Atletico near Adebakwa as a player so hiano. Vincent Boss so say na opeso about the center back row. Adding into opeso about the center back row, he says, okay, the Portuguese national team, Ruben Diaz. And now the left back on about the center back. No, the left back Nuno Mendes. I don't think so Renato Vega GDS will beat me to Nuno Mendes as at now. Into any also Timinia club obenya more center back rows about then no to me improve the Portuguese national team under Roberto Martinez obey me did about that particular rule. You who said there are games or pair or no any Ruben Diaz or Hontiene, and you know pushing for a move and pushing for a move like that, and so boy, Obi say Chelsea, especially with something like that. Yeah, share we are friend is saying we Çalhanoğlu, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, and they yenim say during the FIFA Club World Cup, now same baby because to say Opeso or Galatasaray, and I do baby there were rumors and also things are to me. Sometimes as I can answer the statement from the sporting director, the president of Inter Milan at that time was very bad, especially so who's a player named Mal green light in 10% meko. And nature no glue about Bontiamba Becase. Inter Milan a team bia opeso but on ye na dream po say obeko any Turkish club, even though say ho and on free. But they nay or me say Inter Milan team near any goals and any contribution or the kind of game or bomb say wait me free injury aba now with me aba be boy ni only Lautaro Martinez na bibi eni omuntem but amo bi so amo bi ati as say bibia na ekoso with statement Lautaro Martinez e kan any bibia no o ma clarify bibia next season opese obejide mboa Inter Milan say no betima returning to their glory days, making sure say Scudetto and also the Champions League on miss out no on betimi ewem etimi age with Xavi Simons, Vincent Bosso, direct conversation is there koso RB Leipzig, Chelsea, more good relationship. Player moving in and moving out. Ya deba ko omutimi tom, omutimi koye. Now Xavi Simons amobiati as I say he wants to move to the Premier League. Premier League ni adeba ko peso Bobby because in him say most of the young players say Barcelona. Premier League ni adeba ko na omu bebre taishe, especially with the competitiveness and the way our players need be exhibiting more talent. Especially where players are they are more interested in the Premier League and more of the players are on person they are good in tight spaces, they like to control the ball because someone say if you are good with those things the Premier League boama a page out to that level into any why not dreams of person moving to a Premier League club. Ali Barat any manager only Chelsea only agent only Chelsea or that good relationship even though say Arsenal need to tell on Xavi Simons but omunim say if there is any bidding war Chelsea would have the upper hand against them into any the personal conversations between Arsenal any player friend Xavi Simons are dropping. Now almost say anything can be done. Now this transfer and yet maybe about maybe a bid going and a bid being rejected. The only thing I can transfer say the agreement can go in between the clubs. Sisi and so Achuku make a conversation and be something good for Chelsea. So mbit me that money coming in. Now the clubs will be bring peso update because update no in fact inyama be bring ba books no but say bia say me ton ma 40 now be top 40 and the 40 aba me sika no and na 40 so e free nchen akọ nti na Chelsea hwe so mo pe Chuku Emeka dia then they negotiate it separately from Xavi Simons dia Chelsea hwe so mbetimi aye with her to so say the relationship between Ayas and the Chelsea problem be in your so official bid ebeko that is before the close of today bibia betimi akọ na Chelsea ahwe say Hato coming in you share any videos kaka I think so a player obema that close level to Cucurella as a now at a younger age I think I had to mostly players or mobile as a center back or Timmy Boy as a DM a boy as a left back no a man at the back say he's very good on the ball because when you're good on the ball you can't come in and play as a DM because you need to be very good on the ball and making sure say bibia betimi akoye ni at the back or the count game and senior boss at the age a big factor for him especially coming to Chelsea when him say if the next 1-2 seasons so be a starter crana the likelihood say Cucurella getting to 30 years no you him said this English clubs player do 30 among person more long term contract and they be do on maybe Cucurella be na dream so free Chelsea then he would have that way left back spot as his own into any on him say a long term project and a Chelsea person and coming into a club like Chelsea no on him said the assurance of getting into national team at the back and then so heard the Netherlands national team their left back position and na Timba Nuyana ba be Bokakra and then we are by Bokakra and so to me we are Chelsea you him say recent Renato Vega and Pogba Chelsea we need a lot of game times but to me call up to the Portuguese national team there are rumors say even João Pedro their Ancelotti who say he will call up him up in the Brazilian national team in their next games it's or sa winning na say factors in so a team like Chelsea playing in the Champions League performing and doing everything ebeboa o share the profile of the Chelsea adeba kwa Maresca this season is say the fullbacks no ebe attack more it is up a fullback obetimi attack more him say Cucurella going forward no or ma that attacking strength but adeba kwa Cucurella ma last season no improve wo mu goals had to emma a lot of goals, especially Okone Nima, and the final third passes and the final third contribution at the back where also into their games so a person about the left winger no playing in those half spaces maybe a person of call with Hato overlapping at Ebeboano so and they Maresca build a team the fullbacks no games or person the fullback netinano or the likes of Cucurella or Rhys James occupying those positions time or person the fullbacks ne a surge forward no or betimi nya Hato any gusto or betimi add more or build the team many variations in all the formations of person ball into Javi Simons coming in games as and the left back ni ebe overlap here. The likes of Javi Simons betimi abo into that left wing space or be into those half spaces na bibia timi akoye nti any or build a good team with additions or a show say yes Chelsea project no munim de omo ye na next season and yes say bia coach ni ba beka so ye nye ready ye now they are world champions and they are prepared into why prepared that you need to go into the season knowing say the Champions League no say semi-final na emo target say mutimi do the Premier League winning the league or even being second place the back where any target so timi ra on TNA. I think Hato, Javi Simons are quality players are coming to Chelsea. It would be something good ebeboa ama bibie timi akoye e Chelsea team no.
All right, so you should say be kwa man say be one or two we be.
Yes, okay. To my main Victor Gyökeres.
Okay.
And so same ne kaka. Now Victor Gyökeres coming to Arsenal. I think Arsenal fans ni bebre enyaje because that number 9 striker uyi ekwechi apart from Aubameyang no more those numbers of goals you know. Omu ntimi nya striker bi o itimi abe mo amomo that quality numbers o mo pe. Nti ene Victor Gyökeres coming in here the back where boy Arsenal ye pa. But any him say do baby players and marking signing say ba big teams no ma here there a whole lot of controversies about ye name him say last time a marking signing like this a movie to an English club and a club ni here striker at that time no Romelu Lukaku moving to Chelsea and the first game against Arsenal or born home or the team share goal. I think Gyökeres at the back of the Arsenal team ni mu goals.
Okay.
But I think the disadvantage kakra bia Arsenal fans that's what to ombo asemano. He's not that good in the air. That's what who say those games are Arsenal for people crossing balls or corners or set pieces no. He wouldn't be that player they can count on. And also the touches in the opponent box or not that good, especially trying to hold on to the ball and do one or two things. Inti Mikel Arteta game the best sign. Or made that feeling of Pep Guardiola, Erling Haaland. Team no style of play in the best sign to suit the player. And I don't think say there would be a problem with players feeding him to score goals. I didn't make us an example to the Romelu Lukaku there and say time Lukaku ba Chelsea no. Not Chelsea players the likes of Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, no munim say here number 9 Obabema and goals into share Lukaku season they were feeding him to get the goals. No team Shanti and the likes of Saka we have friends and Noni Madueke, Nwaneri, Odegaard, they would like to feed him and score the goals because Omunim say if they can give him the balls he'll be able to get a lot of goals in it Ebeboa ama bibia etimi akoyi nti and he coming to us now or on a bad side or on a good side but it will depend on how our coach in the best structure ama bibia akoyi. And one thing about marquee players or quality strikers is the moment the team doesn't play to his strength you wouldn't see the best out of him. Into Arsenal ewe juma ye pa say they need to play to his strength and if you are playing to his strength that 20 25 30 goals a season now here from your number 9 obeti media amount and he's a good signing coming into the Premier League. You share the first 5-10 games how he can contribute and his first game in the Premier League beko against his previous manager that is Ruben Amorim so statement in the Premier League. I think it will be that game and the performance it will set him up and he'll be one of that key players for Arsenal.
Right, inti no wa joining na yenhwena. Yeah. Yenhwena yento aso na fe. Bibi ay kama. Okay, egusua yeah check say bibia ebekoye e wo honoma.
Nti yenko Napoli for some betimi nya new goalkeeper. That is yen Dan Beckham Milinkovic Savic Ninuya I find Vanja no more has on betting number and your matter to be biama bibia koye or has a 30 million and on betting me then a fanaba but Torino so has almost here goalkeeper because some of them experienced goalkeeper say Mawa then they will need another replacement and or meeting me negotiating with Napoli our third choice goalkeeper and last season no bemu ebebo ebo no free academy to no bembebo friend Cyrus Ingongi otimi bembebo me Torino has on betting me on a loan fee of 1 million and also a buy option of 17 and a conversation in cost Napoli for any Torino that relationship no one team into any almost has a we Milinkovic Savic beba ababe come na we Cyrus into etimiako other ender bibia betimiako yinti 30 million to Torino 17 million and now at the end of the season said Torino a pair 17 million for Napoli but as of now 1 million transfer fee and we meet me negotiate a bibia etimiako ye
all right still okay you go so I hear say you be kwa man so na fe bibia etimiako ye o say my production or side in here way because eba say na hu say you move to the next way and answer them. Right into asugusu a where then wo hwe sports arena ye din komo na ke pese ye hwe se bibia be koyi ananka ye move to the next way. Yes, and Black Queens ebo semi-final game against Morocco. Nyasem ketu akra emu ya dem papa. First half Black Queens in all the chances, but then second half no better kano a call extra time penalty shootout 4-2 and omude say no yentumi and do final until yebehwe na ye discuss it. Yeah, money my share Black Queens game.
Yes, I think Ushe game I call Sundra. The first half, everything was in place for Black Queens for Anankeso Mutiminya at least 2 or 3 goals. Now, Adebakwa mihu about tournaments. They say mostly tournaments, no. A year a play a bigger factor, especially your bebo first. Any also traveling in Yamabaku Munubi Adebakwa play a lot of factor in players' performance. And we in him say Mbabo. And Mbabo, no, it takes a lot, especially trying to psych them, even power them down to be able to prepare for the next game. Yeah, they play a bigger factor. So, last game against Algeria, equal 120 into penalties. After that, there's a players they returning, making sure say their fitness. Any nyama be brain. Say football, they who 90 minutes, any they are pitching. So, but there are other things behind that. It takes a lot of time and a lot of stress on these players. One, players we are. After the game, Metite said they were doping tests on the players. After that, Umbeko Stadium, Umbeko Hotel, Sakwa parking, moving up and down. And there were a lot of delays also at the airport. So, on first half games now. And now the first half of Mbondrana, I could see they were just playing with that adrenaline. We are rush and all but that was why they were creating a lot of chances. They were playing so good. But in the second half, after resting and coming back, now Timu say yes, a brand new womb. But Mebo coach Kim Abaso, though so a far team, it was in a real building stage. It do baby were complaining about a performance name Koye. There are games that they were leading on Mutimibe Lusuye. Now Timu so Ababenyan and Sa ewo team so. It's not a bad performance for the Black Queens. Because time at tournament they started their first game against South Africa. Their next game on mobile, no BNM said they wouldn't even get into the semi-finals or even qualify ahead of all the other teams that were in group. Even though say position on die no that qualification, but I think performance-wise, Omabo Momodi and Bibia Betimi Akoyinti and they Adebakwa Mekane say we should just give them everything they need and make sure say friendly games any nyama ba kumenu so mutimi tutu ni yetimi buom. Now we build a good squad for other competitions. So but Bandra they played against a good side against the Moroccans. We had penalties on boy, yeah. It was exceptional. I think 1 or 2 penalties via a boy and maybe a amboy, which you could see the demeanor of the players coming towards the boy at the bakwana. We should reach out to move a ball with here. We build him impo and bonch. But I think they did well. So Oshe and draw penalties are game girls and the boy, especially Morocco and Ghana. Now Oshe England and Sweden penalties on my boy. I think at sure the high qualities are girls need to me etimienya. But I think coach wabon home day now they need to play the third and fourth. After BBI in say scour and they are looking at $3,000 to $300,000 to $400,000 at third and fourth no. But I betimienya and it's good money coming to them on betimi they are prepare year for other tournaments. So.
Yeah, next year tournament AFCON and it will be for the World Cup 2027 and on the qualification and on a sad because this year the say no baby anke do an automatic qualification can qualify. Yes. So next year we need to go through the qualification and everything again. Okay, yankwa man so na ye Abel ending komo. Yeah, Abel we are come there.
BBI come at least. BBI fine. Did you say studios and Susanna BBI before?
Yeah, BBI come. Tottenham Hotspurs. Now you have a new coach after winning your first trophy in about I think over 50 years and 17 years. European Cup.
The very last time they did. Oh, okay. So the very last time I did trophy was in 2008. The last Nigeria trophy they in 2008 against Chelsea in EFL, and I win it to by Europe. Actually, over 50.
Europe 70. Okay. But now say when you're failing, you are going to play Super Cup. You have a new coach. How did you feel after seeing say your coach? Eden and not to say, oh no, we need things. On the second season after OJ and Oye then or Oyo with what happened and subsequently going ahead to win your first European trophy in our 70 years. Not Masa Saken no who fan saying.
Well, so let me put this across quickly. Oka Tottenham, at least the first English club to meet European trophy. Let's not take that away from us. Mufasa I need the NMI. Don't say o start here. Ebe do baby no we be into me because we are the starting, but at least a club as an English club there, and of course in Europe, yeah, Bobra in Europe now. Into my Europa 2. And in fact, apart from Champions League, the Champions League trophy, NJB, and see you should at least give us that kind of respect. Now, coming on, Ange Postecoglou, about 30 at the time, now many believe that Obetumi as a coach, now we need that kind of experience in top flights. Now the only proper league coach here, the Scottish League, Celtic, or the OMJ. Ufio no call Japan. It's not a Ange Postecoglou, not just that kind of high profile manager. But of course, not thought I may try something new. We coming from read now Andres Villas-Boas and so by Amfa. Coach Mauricio Pochettino has been try. But to me, for thought I made in league Musa finals. In fact, 3 to 5, including the 2019 UEFA Champions League final against Liverpool. I to me Lucy, we've been to EFL final several times. Lucy, FA Cup, Lucy. And see, I'm so moving on from him. Yeah, this year winners thinking say, Ebefa, yeah, the coach I didn't say Mourinho by Mourinho so. In fact, in his first season, it drew January na MYBET affairs or for signings. And some of the players that he proposed to Daniel Levy so on signing. Now for Obi a friend Ruben Diaz count. And Branty ever since Oba England, Rajima United Bruno Fernandes. These were the two key players. Agency Mourinho suggested Levy, but of course Daniel Levy eba ni surpass to come there on yet. Into me and this man, when injuries are said, so in English Premier League, Nadia, Oba, if it has any way to me about now, we book Kevin now. Sa Kevin, January, the Kevin, 50 December, by January, Kevin, and I trust we a team, Obo, home, and now with me, I compete. You drew yet to sign. It's about 30 minutes. If you move on from Jose Mourinho, near man, yapa, it's just 6 days to a final against Pep Guardiola's Man City. Now, papa, a friend Daniel Levy, to me, Jose Mourinho. I'm going to offer an amateur coach in Ryan Mason. I know your academy. So, on Pep, Man City to me, we need by 130. I'm saying, you movie on Antonio by and French Postecoglou so by or by in his first season so Mubekaya Tottenham in fact the first 10 games we went to all these games unbeaten. It made a point in this first game until that unfortunate game against Chelsea on that Monday evening night. Chelsea Tottenham 4. Tottenham ended the game actually with 9 players on the field. Injuries, the whole and it was the turning point for Tottenham. Players no call injury, rest suspension bebree be mu. Nti free or na Tottenham means nyinaa so bi ma until say yɛde end season etumi nya Europa Sports a yɛde ba the second season na was the Koglu. Ebi share but ɔno de bebi obi behind this second year otumi at the point
Ghana internet.
yeah Tottenham players as of the first developed back and center backs so Van de Ven Romunia Echo if you be too much cool. Oko up front Son Heung-min so injury. Brennan Jones Munya so like Munya injury. It's at the point Nami boys no when is that one club we are spending much because we don't have to spend in this career ever spend it. We have to rely on these young graduates. And in fact, the turning point of your whole Tottenham season, it was like on show the academic graduates. Olusesi, Mickey Moeni, Danny Scarlett.
How did you feel after coach upon injuries all kind near the adina or the Muji trophy yes Pamono days after no. And I'm basing me how did you feel as a Tottenham Hotspur fan?
Well, as a Spurs fan, in fact, as a coach with all this situation, Muna ultimately an European trophy, not just an just win here. It was just like European or GNS qualified Tottenham back into the Champions League of a Belgian Swedish club. In fact, as a Spurs fan, even though Daniel Levy based on the Spurs team, we shouldn't concentrate on just competition. We expect at least and Kabeya there, but maybe a dream we have to sacrifice the league for the Europa League, and it's a tough four spot. And that was expecting at least they bring one more season, and the launch was the Koglu. Now you're backing it up with signings. How things would have panned out, but of course, Daniel Levy into and with me. Okay. Thomas Frank by Brentford.
So how is Thomas Frank and your new signing and specifically Mohamed Kudus addition? You know, how do you sum up the whole coach our banner transfer activities are more and I'm sure him fan a demo bedroom.
Well, Thomas Frank about before that, that's what Temedika signing a youngster from the Japanese league Toko Takai. And it's a signing. It's not signing for footballing reasons. When you start talking about the prison in the Asia, Daniel Levy, as typical of an American in Timo Nano, is thinking about business. How bit me selling the club to the Asian part of the world. That is why he brought in the youngster. Thomas Frank it's me Mohamed Kudus. And we saw glimpses of what Mohamed Kudus can offer. In Mohamed Kudus that. And one thing I'm Kudus signing a unique and I say a sign very good to the Spurs team is that Kudus is very versatile. Utumibo at the left wing, Utumibo at the right wing, centrally, so between about number 8, between about number 10. And even at IAS, AFC IAS, position he played as a number 9 at times, played as a false 9, played as number 10. And it tells you that yes, it's Mohamed Kudus, but we have a lot of options depending on where the coach would like to see him. It's a good buy, it's a good signing. And I was also expecting say by now Morgan Gibbs White and so they on, but And Nottingham Forest as well have their whole legal issues. Almost Tottenham. And let's look at how it's panned out. But assessing the coach from his first presser, he was asked one of the reasons why Mourinho Conte didn't survive in Tottenham was their playing style. That was when Ange Postecoglou came in. The fans were calling for the Spurs DNA. Oh no, but Thomas Frank by Ebisa, and then he insisted, say, well, he likes playing the expressive, expansive kind of football. But then, say, do baby na or adapt here to be pragmatic, on say Tibaka, obey. We didn't see that under Ange Postecoglou. In fact, Ange Postecoglou, yes, sir. Like, I don't think Tottenham would have ended up the season at the maybe a year at the 16th position because there were games where he just needed to pack the bar, sit, and then counter. But no, he still believed in his DNA, free flowing of football, and it didn't work out as much, especially now Queens. Now, Thomas showed glimpses in the game against Reading, his tactical adaptability, or switching different tactics. They were expressive at the point where they had to sit back, they sat back. And so, as a Spurs fan, it's something that, say, you'll be looking out for. Say, this coming season, we are not going to be static. And as we
Okay.
are going into games without any plan B, yeah, we will have the benefit of having that kind of tactical flexibility. I bet me abo and it me how compete. Well, if you are able to get in more signings, I think so we'll be able to compete. But
Okay.
at this point, but I think the target for Tottenham this season will be the top four and then probably having a go at any of the cups and whether FA Cup and I say EFL Cup. But looking at what we've done so far, the business we've done so far, the coach we've brought in, then you let me and Bertrand and Bekase to be competitive and then you don't bring in Thomas Frank and then you don't back such a coach with total signings. No. So I think realistically, as a Spurs fan, a top four should be our target and then any of the cups available, whether EFL or another FA Cup. I think that is the best we can go looking at what we've done so far and with the kind of manager we have.
All right. All right. So you better as a pass and then your time in no. You better say season no be na from now to transfer window ne be close here. You better
Yeah.
start a league no. Na my be a few additions into you be hu komo ye na afi ye hu de ekọ ene de ba. You better as say we join here.
That's
All right.
Okay.
It's Abel and out in Kano. I think say yen share 1 minute Black Queens na afi. Yeah.
Yes, I think Enra, I watched the game and my member Queens for Naba. So basically, maybe their best performance so far in this World Cup 2024 mobile. And I think in fact, we played against the host nation. Their fans were cheering them up and everything. I think that in the first half we should have been up by 4 goals. And I think yesterday Doris Bodua wasn't up to his A game, her A game. At least if the chances are somewhere he was supposed to make a quick pass, somewhere he was supposed to even get his chance and shoot Nankayash. And I think saying boy then in fact the team some of the players, Portia or your captain or more money. I think we have a lot of prospects in the team. It's a boy like this. He's an exceptional player. How he presses, Onyabo and the control, everything was good. I mean Morocco for no, they are a very good a very good team. But then no, I did and fatigue. Girls, the Black Queens no, almost brain them, and it was something that I was expecting a quick reaction from your coach Kim. But there was something that I think he didn't do. And I also think that the game plan or the common was something that the Moroccans didn't expect us to play. Because yesterday, Grace Asantua and Jennifer Kujo, superb. Jennifer was winning us the balls, but Grace Asantua, when he has the ball, open team engine. And now, a lot of praises, these two midfield duo were getting. The defenders were very good. And I think that the over right back, Azakis for Geo. Comfort. Yeah, I think that he also had a lot of crossing because once they do a ball more long because now almost press it too much and a ball long. But I think that because that game now that ball no, the first thing was saying Amana control on him, but he decided to say but he did that thing several times and it but the one thing is the moment if we open it say now anytime you are better attack you, he knows that way the audience or the back left or the back right, and it's something that a beating. I think it's that situation. Even if that ball not was saying, we still had the chance to block the ball. Once a shooting ball, the player shooting to go and deflect here, and also the keeper wasn't so fast to the ball. I think they played very well, but the second half into the game, your game plan, yes, we should have still stick to the first half plan. Nanka at least, in case another goal, then maybe Nanka set it, but then they did very well, especially 1-1 extra time. Who's in a players now? Evelyn Badusu Bermuno. I think so. Only a Adubia Bermuntema, and I can stick it to. Yeah, plan on air in the first half now. You could have, I mean, chances need to be great and keep it when you do it, but then
on your own keep an PM bomber or headed to baby.
Yes,
Empty pool.
Yeah, and not make us say, oh, Bon say, or mobile. You have path second half. You must say the style of play.
Yeah, no, my bro.
Yes, and no, but that is why I was saying call changes in table because you have second half. And no change how I enable you because what here now. Players know you never Grace as Anthony Kujomo quick transition. Stella was superb from the flanks. Boy air presses so anytime you bring your bobiano. Both say four players. I am more defend them almost not press too much. Whenever they have 6 players attacking us. Into now 4 players which. So teams take that, especially in the first 20 minutes in the second half, can maybe give it when you have some chances here, but then kudos to them. And I think he has to do better because and no sure the players did very well. And if he has to continue and also qualify for it, I think that there are some tactical things. Be also tactically with your Morocco for now. Second half they knew how we're playing and on attacking and they do they were playing the long balls and they themselves the Moroccans were playing the long balls. I think that it affected. So I think that yesterday they did very well, but quite unfortunately we lost to the host team and they are going to meet Nigeria. It was going to be interesting Senka at least and can you beat Marine on penalties. I think goalkeeper now Obechi penalties the last time for them.
Okay.
Yeah, this goalkeeper the penalty shootout she didn't do well. I said or we no cry. I don't know. So no one's know our bread here, but then they did very well and all the best to them.
All right. Yeah. Tiansha us na fair.
The name was 5 order media match for MYBET.AFRICA. Hoffenheim airball and Hoffenheim straight win Galatasaray and so any Cagliari Galatasaray straight win Fenerbahce and so straight win or and Ajax and Celtic over 2.5. Code no a 23 dy MYBET.AFRICA.
Okay.
All right, my selection for the day some Europa Leagues games and club friendlies. Mukopi ma team dey the Bartijos Football Academia among Enkranas and airborne a straight win for Bartijos. SK Brand and Salzburg in the Europa League a straight win for Salzburg. Schoutborn and Karabakh FK a win for Karabakh FK. Silkeborg IK and team and the Akuyeri and airborne a straight win for Silkeborg. And then Olympia Ljubljana and Inter Club the Escalds and and so a straight win for Olympia. Also no A8 or code no a 5-3 DY.
Okay. Until no my memo media no so na fe yanko yenim hono. Yeah, had you split away win or draw? SK Brand and Salzburg over 7.5. Silkeborg IF
Goose.
No over 7.5 corners. Silkeborg IF NK Akure or home to halftime win. The New Saints home win or draw. Ljubljana early payout. Karabakh early payout. And Bodonot, any Mesami, and Ebo, Bodonot, home win or draw. Yes, and Fluminense, any Palmeiras, and so Cones over 7.5. I mean, I don't know, I don't do it. You best have an idea, catching in